Hello, beautiful, curious, and creatives. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Welcome back. If you have been here before, if this is your first time, welcome. I appreciate you all for being here, and I am so glad that you are. I apologize for being a little late with the video. I had anticipated coming on Monday, having a video on Monday, but the truth is that I have been in somewhat of a creative frenzy with different things, and I just really couldn't pull myself apart from that. It happens sometimes, and I just, I like to go with that flow while I have it. And so I apologize that it's Wednesday, and I'm just getting back with what I promised we were going to do this week, which was the second item, 3 ways. Pardon my box here. So last week we worked on envelopes, and it was the perfect segue to what I anticipated working on this week, which are paper clips. Paper clips. I know we've seen a million paper clips altered in 2 million ways. They are very versatile. They are, I would say, something that's essential to us junk journal makers and junk journalers, because they're useful, they're practical, and they're useful, and we try to make them, as pretty as we can, and give it a little extra use other than, holding our pieces of paper together. So one of the things that I had worked on this week for a little bit were paper clips. So I'm going to share some of the ones that I've made, and then we'll get right into what we're going to work on today. So these are some that I made back in January. There's a video a couple of videos ago that I posted with some of my January makes, and paper clips were one of those things. I love paper clips almost as much as I love envelopes, because like I said, they're versatile. You can really do a lot with them. They're essential to what we do. And they are, to me, when I am in a creative funk and I have bits and pieces on my table, I can make something like a paper clip. I can alter it. It's like a little bit of a cluster, a little bit of collaging, and it is very satisfying. It's also something that could be mindless in some ways, and I'll explain to you what I mean by that. So I, as a maker, find them very satisfying, especially when I'm in a funk or when I need to make something and I could really just, make a couple of dozen very easily. In this strip that I'm showing you here, these are what I call the flags. That's what they remind me of. They're only altered on one side, which is this one, and this panel literally has bits and pieces that I had laying on my table. A piece of crocheted something, some trim, something that I had already stamped that I had put diamond glaze on it. So I just ended up putting an eyelet on it, stitched a little bit of a crochet piece, and then I guess what motivated me to make this paper clip was that I had some offcuts of coffee dyed paper, and I don't throw anything out. I save every bit of everything because I'm always going to use it for something, or so I think. Sometimes 7 months later I end up throwing it out, but a lot of times I do use it, and this is a great example of that. So it's not a large paper clip, which is what I like working with, and this is what I mean by this is a large paper clip and this is a small paper clip. So I prefer this size, but because I had that little bit of cardboard laying on my table, and God forbid I throw it out, I grabbed a little paper clip, and this is what was what was the result of that. This is a strip of, you know, that little bling that almost ended up in the garbage. And because I couldn't throw it out and I still had some of that paper, I put together a paper clip. These are more with that little bit of, you know, coffee dyed paper, which is a little bit of a journaling spot. Not for somebody like me who couldn't fit 3 letters, let alone write something. But I'm sure there is somebody that can, you know, write quite the small story in those small spaces. So, you know, so there you go. These are also part of my January makes, okay? So these are open bags, and these are in jumbo paper clips, which I've had for a few years, 2 size of, you know, the jumbo clips, and I hardly ever use them. I was motivated to make paper clips, and I grabbed some of those, and this is what came out of that, you know, bits and pieces from my little boxes, extra coffee dyed paper, and these have a pocket, and I think they're just the most adorable, practical little things, and they look beautiful in a journal. And I have used some of them because, like I said, I did make those in January, so I've had them for a couple of months. Okay, these are the same, just a little larger, with some vintage ledger paper, you know, the pocket for some goodies in there, and some trim, right? Some stitching. Another one like that. Sorry, this one goes like this, and this one goes like this. So yeah, there's a difference. So this will go on the side of the page. These, okay, so these I made a couple of years ago with another batch of some that I have here. These are open back paper clips. All about the dangles, all about the jewelry, all about, you know, the bling. These I wrapped this week. I don't know why. I just lies. I know exactly why. No judgment. I had a strip of coffee dyed paper. I had 2 of them, and they were literally this wide maybe, and I just couldn't throw them out. And as I was cleaning my table, I had paper clips and stuff, and I had that, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna roll them into the paper clip. And so that was my little decompressing activity for the evening while I had the TV on or whatever. And so as you can see here, the stitching, if you will, or the you know, the edge of the paper, because you have to wrap it around, you know, and tuck it underneath this part, right? And then bring it back to the front and then tuck it underneath that part. I cut them on in the front. So this was a little packet of those rhinestones that I had. I took them out, took a little bit of my glue, and I decided to cover the top. You know, this I'm leaving open because maybe I'll put a word there or maybe nothing, I don't know. But I just didn't want to make them all the same. So that was one night's activity. Then the next night I did another night, I did the charms. So that must have been like Sunday and Monday. I did the charms because last night I was fussy cutting. So, you know, and I have a stash of stuff that I can use. When I made these, I made them with the intention that I would decorate them as I was ready to use them. So they have stayed like that. I have used some that I haven't decorated, and I have used some that I have decorated. Again, classic example of having little things on my desk. These are all open back. Having things on my desk, on my table, not wanting to throw it out, and putting them on a paper clip. Right? So there. These were part of the January make, but instead of envelopes, what I did, I stenciled index cards, small index cards, and it's the same thing. A sweet little pocket here for goodies, some collaging, some clusters, a little bling attached, a little bling with an eyelet, whatever you want to do. A little piece of ledger paper with some bits from my desk because I can't throw that out. No, I cannot. I cannot throw that out. I cannot throw out a piece of a paper bag, okay? I mean, I can't. So what happens? There's a paper clip. Here's another selection of those that I made with the larger paper clips, okay? So, yep, with a lot of jewelry. Some are double-sided and some are just single-sided. Again, from the January makes, clusters, a little collaging, some rusty bits, and they're gorgeous paper clips. More of the January makes with the pockets, open backs. Okay. I mean, this is just, you know, you can really do tons of things with this idea. And these are envelopes. These are repurposed envelopes. Okay. So, similarly, this week, I worked on, or maybe last week, I had worked on these paper clips as well. So last week, I just curled some clips, you know, like the edge of a clip, right? Decorative. Figure further down the road at some point, I may decorate it. I'll decorate it when I'm ready to use it, whatever. Well, after that, I worked on putting the dangles on it. And so these are all decorated like that. I had two boxes of charms that I haven't touched significantly. I've used them here and there, but I really haven't, you know, done much with them. And, you know, even though I share them when I do swaps or I do Happy Mail or racks or things like that, it's never enough. There's still a huge supply of stuff that I would like to use. It's there to be used. And so I used it. Not all of it. Definitely not all of it, but I used some of it. And how cute is this? On the side of your journal, right? I mean, it's beautiful. For a little Happy Mail too, whatever. It's done, it's ready, and you know, you can use it whenever. These, I'm saving these for last because this is gonna be my segue into today. These I made when I made the large ones, but these are not usable paper clips, right? These are just decorations. You can attach them to something else and then use them that way, but not as paper clips. But they are paper clips. They're just wrapped on both sides. Okay. All right. So confession time. I started this video about an hour and a half ago. And at some point I realized that what I was doing was not going to work. And this is what I made with you, except that, you know, you weren't here. And my intention was not to make this. It was to make something altogether different. So this was a mistake. During the video at about 42 minutes in, I realized that I had made a mistake. And I tried to figure out how to recover while I was recording, and I couldn't because there was just no way that I could have recovered from this because of the way I glued it. So I stopped the camera and I realized that maybe it wasn't such a great idea to kind of just go all willy-nilly recording because if I had tried one before I started recording, I would have realized that it wasn't going to work. And one of the things that I wanted to achieve with that video was work intuitively like I usually do without prepping ahead of time, knowing that I have my supplies around me. And because I have done so many altered paper clips that, you know, I had this. I knew what I was doing and it wasn't going to be a problem. And it was going to build my confidence in terms of, you know, recording and making while I record spontaneously. Okay, but the mistake. This was a mistake. What I wanted to do didn't work. I couldn't recover on camera. Long story short, I stopped the video. I tried to figure out what I didn't do that I should have done after I stopped the video. And guess what? I couldn't without turning it into something that was far more complicated than what I wanted. I fell in love with how this came out. And, you know, as I'm flipping it like this, I'm saying to myself, but this is so beautiful to me. It's beautiful to me. This is my vibe, is vintage grunge. It, you know, it's simple. It has all the elements that I wanted. It's a paper clip. It's an envelope. It's got the 2 pockets, but it's not what I wanted because I wanted a double-sided altered paper clip that you could actually clip onto your paper and have the 2 pockets. So I'm sitting here, you know, kind of like trying to compose my disappointment, myself from my disappointment. And I'm looking at what I have on my table. And I said to myself, there is nothing wrong with this. There is absolutely nothing wrong with this. You know why? Because this is going to be this. And okay, I didn't do this before. I'm going to do it with you now. Because what we're going to do with this is excuse me. We're going to attach it to one of our leftover paper clips that I had from my makes the other day. And this is what we're going to make. Okay? You know why? Because there is absolutely nothing with this beautiful dangle that we're going to put goodies in. And it's going to be a floating pocket altered envelope, altered paper clip, whatever you want it to be. But it's gorgeous. And that's how we're recovering. So I'm recovering. You weren't here. So we're going to do it from the beginning. So for this, we need an envelope. I started to fold this one before. And it can be the outside envelopes because it doesn't have to be one where the flap is intact, right? Or, you know, open this way. If you have this, you know, and you want to tuck it in, or you want to, I typically seal them and then I slice them. So that's what we're going to do. Well, actually, this is already done. So we're just going to use this one. So I'm going to glue here because I usually do that. Oh, what a disappointment that was. That was, I almost cried. And then I said to myself, forget it. I'm not going to do the video. And then I was like, no, I need to figure this out. And then, well, I realized. So we're going to fold it in 3. And I actually folded this one because it could have a pocket here. So let's do this one just for a little variety. So I am going to put my paper clip, and that's going to be a regular paper clip, right? Not one that has been, not one that has been altered in any way. And I thought I had some here. Oh, I do. I have one here. Okay. So we're going to put the paper clip, going to put the paper clip here. Okay, this is where we're going to put the paper clip. Sorry. Okay. No. Here we are recovering again. We can't do that side pocket like that. And if we can, I am not going to work through that. Let's stick to the original plan. We're going to seal the flap because I think when we place the paper clip, it's going to get in the way of the side pocket. So that's why that's not the best option. So we're going to fold it in 3. Okay. And we're going to slice the top. I'm going to do that now. The glue should be dry. Okay. Let's glue this one. And let's glue this one. Okay. And let's fold. Okay. And we are going to place our paper clip on one of the ends. I'm going to do it on this end. You can do it on this end, just not the middle. Okay. And then I'm going to flip in one end. And I am going to flip the other. And that's exactly what I want. I want this part open, this part clipped, and this part opened. Okay? So at this point, we can glue. And I have a new bottle of Fabri-Tac that I put on my table before so I don't run out of glue. And 6 sticks of glue. And this is probably going to melt a little bit because of the envelope, but that's okay. I'm not going to stress over that. I'll go around this one. Funny, I was telling you guys the story about my girlfriend Rosie who ran out of glue one time when we were doing Google Hangouts, scrapbooking during a storm. And just the other day, I was having a conversation with another one of my friends who couldn't find her glue. And, you know, that set off an alarm in my brain. So I have 12 bottles of Fabri-Tac being delivered by Amazon tomorrow. Because I cannot afford to run out of glue. Okay, so while that dries, I am going to, okay, you see that? That looks perfect. We want that. That's exactly how we want it. Okay, oh, and I forgot to take out my little paper clip a little bit, right? Because we want to have a little spot to hang it. Okay. So let's do a little bit of inking. Vintage grunge is my jam. That's my vibe. That's what I like. So I enjoy inking my edges. If it's not your, if it's not your thing, you don't. You're gonna make this the way it is appealing to you, the way that, your creative flow will take you, and what's gonna make you happy, right? Because that's the point. If it's not gonna make you happy, don't do it. This is about finding joy in, in creating. And while we are talking about that, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you who have subscribed and who have sent me messages and are letting me know that you're watching the videos and you're enjoying them. And that fills my heart. It makes me very happy because that is the point, right? In doing this, it's to share it, to inspire others and to build community. And I am so grateful. I really am so grateful that, you know, that you're here and you're enjoying your time here. And those of you who have subscribed, I so appreciate it. And if you haven't and you are, you know, inspired and you think you'd like to come back, you can come back without subscribing. That's fine. But if you like to subscribe, I would love that also. So thank you. Okay, so everything's inked, you know, loosey-goosey, willy-nilly, yada yada, whatever, you know, it's fine. So although I didn't take anything out, I just kind of moved this little stack of odds and ends that I had on my table before. And I think what I had used for that other one were book pages that I had here. And I think I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to just collage with this book page. And I'm actually going to do the other side as well before I decorate, because if I do use something with a little bit of bulk or dimension, it may be hard to glue it. So as I do the, you know, the background for this side, I will go and do the background for the other one as well. So I guess the lesson learned is that it pays to kind of, you know, do a run, or at least make sure that what you're going to do, if you haven't done it before, is something that you know it's going to work. Because you can get stuck, and sometimes, you know, recovering is not that easy. It took me a minute. It took me, you know, folding a couple more envelopes to realize that what I was looking to do wasn't going to work. And, you know, as I'm looking at what I had already made that I love so much, that's when it came to me that, wait a minute, no, this is just gorgeous and it's perfect. And we're going to use it, because we're going to make it into something else. And the truth is that, you know, although I've seen envelopes and altered paper clips a million ways before, I haven't seen it like that. So go figure. I'm prepping this for the other side. And to just give it a little. So how are you guys doing? Everybody doing okay? It's been a week since we were together. I didn't intend it to be that long, but you know, there was a weekend in between, clearly, and I hope it was good for you guys. I pretty much create every day of the week, but you know, I can't spend as much time in my studio as I would like to every day. There are other things that need to get done, unfortunately. But it was a good weekend. It was a very good weekend for me, and I hope it was a good weekend for you guys. And you're doing well. The weather's getting warmer, so that's such a nice sign of hope and joy. Okay, so I'm going to kind of keep it in theme. I'm reaching, sorry, you know, you've seen this before. This is my little box of goodies here. I think I'm gonna go with that. My formula is so basic, and I'm very consistent with my formula. Some something, you know, for the back, a little ticket, maybe a little label, and I can call it a day. Because like I said before, I like to leave room for whomever is going to, you know, have the journal, where this is going to go, to be able to do, you know, something. You know what I did use for that other one, for this one? So that video that nobody watched or listened to, I was talking about this strip. This is one of the things that I made these 2 days when I was in that creative frenzy, that my sweet friend Beth has gifted me, and things that I've had, trims that there's no way that I'm going to use for anything. So I literally pinned them and just ran them through the sewing machine. And now I feel like I have something that I'm more likely to use. It's kind of like a snipper roll, I guess, you know, or the base for a snipper roll, or of a snipper roll. And you know what, I used it on that one because I really loved it. It's brand new, I haven't used it yet, so I'm going to use it on this one also. Yeah, so that was one of the things that I made. I don't sew, but I do like running a stitch through my sewing machine for things, as you can see. And if you're saying don't glue the snipper roll because of the texture, I heard you. I'm only going to do this part of it, and then I'm going to flip it, and we're going to see what we're going to put on the other side. Oops. And then we'll come back to this. Let me get a wipe because I'm making a mess. I think every time I grab a glue stick is a new one, and I'm pressing on it like, you know, it's at the end. Okay, so let's do this side. Let's grab something else from here, shall we? Let's see. How about this? And maybe we'll take out... Oh, let's do this label. Let me just cut it really quick. Okay, so another confession, and I'm gonna use it because I used it on that one and I was so excited to use them. I mean, the first try of the make. I downloaded another set of digitals from TaylorMade Journals. Oh, if grunge is your thing, you are going to love them. They are called Industrial Numbers, and I think since then, she just put them out last week, and I think since then there's another set, which I don't need because this is plenty. I mean, this is not even all of it. It is fabulous, absolutely fabulous. They are gorgeous. This was last night's decompressing activity, was cutting these numbers, and I am so thrilled to be using them because they are just, oh, they're gorgeous, gorgeous. So my vibe, right up my alley, and I have the feeling I'm going to be printing more. But it was a job to cut them because I can't even, I don't even know how many sheets there were. And, oh, insane. Very generous. It was a very generous amount, and they are just so beautiful. So, do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? Maybe I want to do that and not that. Okay, I think we're going to do that. So, yeah. Okay, since this is paper and we're not using anything with dimension. I'm going to glue it down. I mean, look at it. Is it not beautiful? Was I like totally off frame? Oh, geez. Yeah, gorgeous. They are just, they're beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so we're going to do something like that. Or we're gonna do something like this, like this, like that. Okay. So I'm realizing that both my altered clips are looking very similar, and that is probably because I don't know, like that's part of my recovery, I guess. Okay. Just checking that I didn't, you know, glue more stuff down that I shouldn't have. Okay, let me just leave this here for a second so it dries a little bit. And then I am going to grab my my pliers and a little jump ring. Maybe not. Okay. And let's hook this baby on. Sorry, you know that I have to work really close to my face to be able to see this. And I am going to paper clip it onto one of the clips that I had already prepared, that I curled. I think I worked on this last week on the paper clips. Okay, so, and I apologize if I was off, or if I'm still off camera. Okay, so this is this. It goes like this. It is perfect, and you can stuff it with goodies on both sides. Is that not fabulous? I mean, is that not? This is a little flimsy. I'm afraid to put that in there. Let me see if I can find something else. This is not wide enough, but just to give you, just to give you an idea. Since they're both facing this way, let's just do it this way. Oh, okay, so maybe one of them, okay, perfect. Oh, okay. Let's put something short in here. You know it's there. It could be a little secret, a little secret spot. Isn't this gorgeous? I got this as part of a swap. This is some original work from a very talented person that happened to be my swap partner at the time. So that's it, guys. How something that was not intended to be turned out. I'm very happy with it. It has a lot of more potential. We can add a little dangle here. So many things we can do with this. And it is a floating pocket, but I am not sure if it is an altered paper clip or is it an altered envelope. I don't know. You tell me. What do you think it is? Other than just gorgeous. Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so glad that you were here. Welcome back. Welcome if it's your first time. I appreciate all of you. I will be back with the second way to alter a paperclip. And I hope that you will join me then. Thank you so much, guys. Love you. See you next time. Bye.